All right. Good afternoon, Mark. How are you doing, man?
I'm very good in itself, Robin. How are you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing very, very well, man. It's good to see you, man.
Yes,
Very
it's good to be here.
wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Well, really, really excited about today's lesson. I'm going to be your teacher today. Wonderful to be connecting with you again. And today we're going to be talking about something that's very important, as it adds value to all of our lives. It affects us in all of our lives. So I'm going to just quickly just share my screen with you, and just to make sure that you are getting that. Can you see that on the screen, Mark?
I can see that. Yes, it says having a meeting. Yes, I can see it.
Okay, fantastic, fantastic. All right, so let's get down to business. So let's get going with what we want to talk about today. All right, so I want you to just have a look at this next picture, and just have a look at it just before you respond to it. And you know, there's a saying in English that goes, "A picture tells 1,000 words." So you know, you
Mm.
look at a picture and it really touches your heart. Um, so I want you to have a look at this picture, and just in your own words, can you use one sentence to describe what is happening in this picture? I'm just gonna write down your responses here, and then we can have a look at it and see how we go. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that's perfect, Robin. Thank you.
Fantastic. Okay, so tell me, just give me one sentence that for you would describe what is happening in this picture.
Okay, what's happening in this picture is teamwork. It's the first keyword that I say. And what's happening is that they are getting together in a meeting to discuss, looks like data analytics for a company that they are working for to strategize production costs or production boosting sales and marketing.
Okay. Quickly just move this. Sorry, man. I want to just quickly just get into this whole thing. Yeah. Okay. Right. Sorry. Could you say that again for me, please?
I said it looks like they're having a meeting. They are looks like they're discussing how they can boost sales and marketing.
Hey. All right. Fantastic. Fantastic. Well done, Mark. Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. So you can see in the front there that I really like your observation there from the teacher, from the looking at this picture and deciding, how did all, firstly, maybe I should ask you this question. What made you decide that you knew it had to do with sales and marketing? How did you think about that?
The first thing I saw was that the guy in front is pointing to a screen or a projector or something like that with an image. And the image tells me that I can see from here that it's got data analytics of some kind. It's got a scale, it's got a bar graph. That tells me that, and also what tells me this is that they got a whole team that's looking at it, and they're all looking like they're thinking very hard about how they can actually. Um, that's why it just screams out to me sales and marketing, because it looks like to
Wonderful.
me all production, one of the two.
Okay, wonderful. Well done. I'm really
Yeah.
well done on your sentence, your sentence construction. You express yourself very well. Thank you, Mark. All right, so
Okay.
let's
Thank you.
so, so wonderful. So let's have a look quickly. There's some important vocabulary that we can have a look at when it comes to meetings. Sometimes you'll hear people saying certain things, certain ideas, certain phrases might come up. So I want us to just have a look very quickly at this. So sometimes you might hear someone speak about it slipped my mind. When we say something slips my mind, it means to forget about something. Oh, it slipped my mind. Secondly, somebody might say, that's a wrap. So let's say I am busy with a meeting and I, I want to wrap the meeting up. So to wrap up something means to end a meeting. Okay. The third one
Yeah.
we can just have a look at is to jog one's memory. In other words, to cause or to help you to remember something. So let's think, for example, let's think of an example here regarding this. Let's say, for example, you work you're a graphic designer. Am I right?
Yes, I am, Robin.
Okay, fantastic. So think about let's think about people within your neighborhood, for example, right?
Okay.
And you are trying to think about who could I promote to? Who could I sell my product or my service to? Okay. So what you could do is you could write down the names of people that come to mind in your community that you could approach. Or let's say, for example, you belong to a fishing club and you think about who do I know in a fishing club? And then you would write down the names of those people. So that's what it means to jog your memory. Can you explain that in your own words, what I just said now? What does it mean to jog someone's memory?
Okay, to me, to jog one's memory means simply if you have some kind of if one person is talking to another person and he says a piece of information like the cat in a hat comes back, and then the person says, sorry, what did you say about the cat? And then the other person says, to jog your memory, I will say the cat in the hat comes, and then the guy can say, oh yes, you jogged my memory, it comes back. That's how I understand it.
Okay, wonderful. Yes, fantastic. And so thinking about now, that's great. So if we link it now to a business setting, let's say, for example, you are a salesperson trying to promote and trying to receive clients to ultimately, get clients for your business. What would it mean for you to jog your memory in that situation?
To boost sales and things like that in graphic designs to jog my memory.
Okay, so let's think about, for example, you are wanting to get more clients.
Yes.
For you to ultimately get money in your pocket.
Yes.
What could you do to jog your memory?
I would take notes, and I would write up. I'd take notes, Robin, and I would just really make an effort to take these notes down and to make an effort to actually carry them across and to make sure that I don't forget my sales strategies and my data as well, so that I don't fall behind in the things that I need to do to boost my sales.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so that's great. I just wanted to spend some time on that one, as I think sometimes people might be a bit confused about that. Okay, so let's have a look at the fourth one. When we say to get down to business, essentially what that means is to do what was spoken about in the meeting, right? So they're talking about a couple of things, and Mark, you're going to be responsible for this. Joan, you're going to be responsible for that. Right, let's get down to business. Let's actually do what we're going to say that we're going to do. Does that make sense, Mark?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, so you work in a company. You work in a company. How would you understand that? How would you, let's say your boss speaks to you. How would you understand? He says to you, right, Mark, get down to business. What is he telling you?
The first thing that comes to my mind, Rob, is if a boss had to tell me, let's get down to business, Mark, that means that we stop talking, we stop analyzing, we stop doing data analytics, we stop doing all that thing, and we start doing what's actually needed to implement our sales strategy to move forward. So I would sit down and I'd start doing the actual work. So I'd start doing graphic design. I'd start doing promotion on Facebook, for example. I'd start doing the actual work that needs to be done to make sure that our plan gets carried out effectively.
Fantastic. Well done. Yes, absolutely. I can see that you've got a very good, strong grasp on this about getting down to business. Okay. So the last one there is to have a productive meeting. Sometimes you will hear that term productive. And essentially what that means is we have a meeting and we have positive results. So we had a very productive meeting. We felt like we solved lots of problems. Okay. Right. So let's take it a step further and let's test your response. So if we look at the first one there, to slip one's mind, just in one sentence, what does that mean?
To forget the fact. You're supposed to remember.
Okay, to forget the fact that I am supposed to remember. Okay, wonderful. Good. All right. To jog one's memory, what does it mean?
To remind someone of a fact that they we're supposed to remember at a given time.
To remind someone of a fact that they are to remember
At a given time, yeah.
given. Okay, wonderful. To wrap up, what does that mean?
To wrap up means basically if you come to the end of a meeting and you all say, all right, guys, we come to the good conclusion that this is what we're going to do. That's a wrap. Let's get to it.
Okay.
That's what it means to me.
So, okay, say it just in one brief sentence. What would you say? That's a wrap.
To wrap up.
Yeah, to wrap
That's
up.
a wrap.
Yeah. What does it mean? One sentence. What would you say?
That means everybody in the meeting understands what they must do. So I would say to everyone understands what they must now do.
What they must do. Is the meeting? Is it the end of the meeting? Middle of the meeting? End of the? Where are we in the meeting when someone says that?
That's the end of the meeting, Robin.
Okay. Wonderful. All right. To get down to business, one sentence. What would you say?
To get down to the hard work.
Okay.
Involved. I would say to get down to the hard work involved, Robin.
Get down to the hard work. Okay, wonderful. Yeah. And to be productive, what does it mean to be productive?
To ensure that the hard work gets done and carried out properly.
Done and carried out properly. Okay, wonderful. Good sentences there, Mark. Okay,
Thank
now,
you,
so let's take it now a bit further. Let's do a little exercise together based on this vocabulary that we've just learned. I want you to match the words with the pictures. So you'll see there 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then A, B, C, and D. So talk to me quickly about the first picture. Which of those letters below would you say the first picture matches with?
I would say the first picture matches with to jog one's memory.
Okay, fantastic. Well done. What about the second one? What do you think about the second one?
The second picture would match with A, to slip one's mind.
Okay, well done. The third picture?
That would be, let's get down to business.
Okay, and the last one there, the end?
That would be B, to wrap up.
Okay, wonderful. Well done. Excellent.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay. All right, so some more vocabulary very quickly. Effective is another way that we could say that it was productive. Ineffective, not productive. And if someone says, oh, I feel overlooked, it means to fail to notice someone. So in a meeting, giving your best, or you're doing well in your job, it just feels like no one is actually seeing or giving you credit or acknowledging the work that you're doing. How does that? How would you understand that? Can you just look at the third one quickly? Can you put that in your own words? How would you say? What does it mean to be overlooked?
It means that you're working very hard, but you maybe feel unappreciated for it.
Okay, well done. Well done. All right, so let's have a look just in your mind very quickly. Not to say it out loud. I want you just to have a look at each of those 4 questions, just very quickly. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to do that.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, wonderful. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be reading each of these questions, and I would like you very, very, as brief as possible, just to answer them for me. Okay, just so that we can see how's your vocab, how are you communicating in English. Okay, so we can see. So let's see how we can do this. All right, so the first one, how do you personally feel about meetings in your company? So you work for a company, you're a graphic designer, and you work for an advertising agency. How do you personally feel about meetings in your company, Mark?
I think our meetings, personally, I feel that they are productive and energetic at the same time.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, what about the second one? What are the most effective and ineffective types of meetings in your view?
I would say that the most effective types of meetings are ones where there's good communication and understanding, and the most ineffective ones are where people are sort of disengaged from the meetings, where they're not really paying attention or they're just not really contributing to the meeting itself.
Okay, well done. Right, number 3. Have you ever thought to yourself, this meeting is a waste of time? If so, if not, why?
I have thought that before. I would say why, because sometimes I feel that I've known this all already and I know where this meeting is going. I don't really need to be here because I know what I need to do anyways.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. And lastly, do you ever feel overlooked?
Do I ever feel overlooked at meetings? In a sense, yes. Sometimes I feel like maybe my opinion could have been brought forth, but sometimes, again, it does feel sometimes I'm being overlooked. Yes, I do.
Okay. Thank you, Mark, and thank you for your openness and your honesty. Really, really.
It's a pleasure. Yeah, it's a pleasure, Robin. Yeah.
All right. So now let's get practical. You'll see there's 2 scenarios there. Just have a quick look there, and we'll have a look at it. And then we'll look at each question. Give you about just a couple of seconds for that.
Okay, I'm ready for the first scenario.
Okay, great, great stuff. All right, so let's imagine, for example, Mark, okay, you work for this big advertising company, you're a graphic designer, and this is what happens. Your colleague and team members are all late for the meeting that you organized. What will your approach be? And well, let's start with that one. What will your approach be in that situation?
My first approach would be understanding their situation, that perhaps they do have a good reason, a valid reason for being all late.
Okay, and how will you begin?
I'll begin by saying, guys, I'm sure you all got your reasons for being late, but let's just get started right away, seeing as we are here now.
Okay, wonderful. All right, and then the second scenario. Your client has arrived unexpectedly and he has many questions about his account. What will your approach be in that situation, Mark? How will you handle that?
Okay, my approach would be to sit him down calmly and to answer as many of his questions as I could. And then how I will begin, I will say, look, sir, I understand your queries and let's go through them systematically to figure out the best solution for you.
Okay, well done, well done. Just one observation that I noticed there. Just be careful with your tenses there. I noticed you said, let's begin as we could. We use the present tense. Okay. Nevertheless,
Okay.
very, very good. Well done. Excellent feedback there. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So let's just wrap up quickly what we've learned. Let's think and reflect and think about what we've learned. So we've learned about a number of different vocabulary words to slip one's mind, to jog one's memory, to wrap up something, get down to business, be productive, to be effective and ineffective, to feel overlooked. And we've also looked at questions and answers pertaining to meetings. Remember, this is part of everyday life. At some stage, we're going to experience it at some stage in our lives. And lastly, we also then discussed real life situations and how you would in fact handle them. Okay. Mark, it's been an absolute pleasure just chatting with you, connecting with you. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for your contributions. It's really been fantastic just spending time with you and hearing, where you're at. And I trust that in some small ways, this has been insightful, this has been helpful, this has been beneficial to you. So before we end off in this lesson, very quickly, in the next couple of seconds, is there any questions or something that you'd like to ask relating to the content that we've spoken about today?
I don't think I have any questions because I found that all the answers were correctly given according to the questions. And so it was presented very well. So therefore, I do not have any more questions. Thank you,
Wonderful.
Robin.
Wonderful. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure once again, and have a great day further. And yeah, we'll talk again soon. And all the best, eh?
You too, Robin. Thank you very much for the lesson. Thank
Okay.
you very much. I
All
appreciate
right.
it.
Cheers.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.